Hello. Hello and welcome. Alright, so I've been a little lax on cleaning out my wells for my ink palette. This is the palette I've been using for the ink so far, so I was just scrubbing at that a little bit while I was waiting to go live. And hello. Hopefully you're all doing well today. Happy Mother's Day for you moms out there. Today's a special day for me as well. Not just because of the kiddos. Well, especially because of the kiddos. But anyway, yeah, so I have random globs of paint skin floating in my water. Because the paint did dry out and the acrylic ink dried out in the palette because of I did this small one, woke up and then I got carried away with getting him back to sleep, so it was fun. There's a nice surprise stream. This section dried a little lighter than I thought it would, but I'm not unhappy with it. I think it looks kind of neat. I think over here could probably have been a little bit darker, but that wash didn't carry as far as I was trying to direct it. That's okay. Just in a debate as far as what else. Maybe. Well, other than the highlights, I definitely want to do highlights. We'll see. But yeah, today's purpose was for me to go ahead and get into our day 5 prompt. I was going to at least do a sketch and kind of see how far I could get into the sketches, but I don't know, I'm not sure how I feel about that right now. I've not tried to use masking fluid with acrylic before, so this may be a surprise. I'm just coming through with the eraser. Go ahead and lift up that masking fluid. What I probably could have done that might have been a little bit of a better effect for this might have been using something wax-based to go ahead and create a resist. Then the acrylic just wouldn't want to go there. It would be more difficult for me to, to tone over it. I would have to go in with some other media that hopefully likes to stick to oil-based products. So there we go, we have some random dots. I don't know how I feel about this. I think this is one of those things where it's like, I'm glad I did it, but I don't think this is going in a portfolio. This was just play and some experiments. And all these little dots everywhere for the masking fluid. They're not looking bad as far as the how the masking fluid edges kept. I don't mind that. They are, some of them are a little bit organic looking, and I think that's because the acrylic paint film had gotten stuck. Also application, some of these were applied a little bit on the rough side, so they might not have been completely smooth because of me. That's fine, I didn't want all of these to be uniform little dots. I wanted some of these to kind of be dots, and some of these to be more slanted, like big globs of snow are when it falls. Get into all these little guys first. see all the little skewings. Working on these big ones. And there you go. We have some stars in our galaxy now. Anyways, yeah, so what do I feel like? I don't know, I think I'm more here to just keep up the routine than a specific goal in mind to accomplish today. I don't want to just dial in the work, but at the same time, I'm also kind of, I don't know, I guess in a weird headspace with where this challenge is going so far. Just seeing that variation of this piece was pretty successful as far as like the day 2. I really like day 2. That one came together really tight in composition, and then day 3 is still looking radically unfinished and sitting in a weird headspace for me. Probably quite a few of these will be sitting in a weird headspace for me, like this one. Like, do I want to keep going with this to go ahead and add those highlights in? Am I doing anything else to the edges of these stars or snowflakes? I don't know. I don't have answers for it. I think that's what's kind of gaining on me, is having more questions that don't have answers. So I've even started thinking like, well, do I want to finish MerMay? And that's why I'm just kind of puttering around with this while I'm debating a lot. So the reason why I'm questioning even finishing this month is because I was outlining a lot of the work that I have outside of this challenge, and that is not getting worked on when I'm doing this challenge. I'm gonna have to tilt this. I lost a bit of the dark edge in some of this wash, and every so often I'm just dipping back into the white to go ahead and pick up a bit more. I don't want this to be really faint. I want the pigment to have a pretty decent load of the titanium white, be fairly vibrant. I want it to be that I'm not just picking up the liquid vehicle for the ink, that I am picking up the pigment as well. But yeah, I have a lot of questions about this challenge. Like, do I still feel it is worthwhile? We're going into day 8, and I'm working on part of the day 4 prompt. You know, this actually brings up like a larger conversation. So it's not just these questions about where I am with other work as far as the part of the stalling point for this challenge. For me, it goes somewhat into you know, one of the prompts for day 5 is tribal. And, you know, we can picture a lot of, you know, tribal elements based on things that we have from past history. And the question for me is, when is that artistic influence okay? Like, when is it okay to be filming into other nations' tribes and saying this was inspired by that? Like, where is it inspired by and where is it cultural appropriation? And I am tending towards the side of caution. I have a bit of the masking fluid that healed up that's stuck right next to this section. That's less than desired. But anyway, yeah, so that's something that concerns me a lot is it okay to do things that are based on another culture? I mean, obviously, if I'm doing something that has basis in reality and I'm on the stream, I'm going to mention, you know, this is inspired by this. These are qualities I found interesting about this tribe. But I'm also one of those people who prefers to do a bit of research into why is this interesting? What's the significance to this culture? So there's different levels. Like at the surface, it's like, oh, that's visually striking. That is appealing to me as an artist. That's somebody who is geared towards, you know, what you see visually. And then there's other things where it's like, yeah, but that's not right. A lot of people are just taking from these cultures and not giving anything back to them. But take a huge trend, Bohemian. It is largely an amalgamation of what existed from the Romany culture. These people were pulled from their homes and created a nomadic society. A lot of people ascribe to this bohemian sensibility. I'm not gonna put up this track. Okay. I don't know how I feel about these lines being a little stronger. Hey, Rowdy. Thank you. That's cool. Well, thanks so much for stopping by. And I have a small person who's very, very sleepy and does not want to stay down for his nap. So we may have interruptions. I think for this, instead of doing white highlights, I probably would have liked to just go ahead and do like a pastel tint of the different colors. Maybe I should have thinned this out and just let it be semi-transparent. Doing the worst job of following my previous shadow lines. I have some really, really funky edges here. Like this little tail that just kicked out. That's not good. You're coming around down this way. Silliness. But yeah, these are some of the things that I think about, and this is where that line got really wavy. I'm trying to follow that. And I'll be on mute for a bit while he fusses. It looks like I'm going to paint in some stars. I feel like some of these I'll leave plain. Just that they're not the brightest shining bodies. I'll just do just the center dot. Here though. There's the other one. Just a random couple spots. I'm not even going to try to make these all perfect dots. And this will just give a little extra contrast, brighten up a couple places. That's picking up pretty well on camera there, looks like. Look at that. This section's pretty light. Needs a little more white to pop. So there's our day 4, which is not what I plan on working on today. Silliness. I don't know, they've had a nice little ramble about cultural appropriation. Now I feel like let's move over to something else. Oh, I made a mess on this when I did that wash. This is why you should probably tape the edge of your paper when you start working on a pad. Because if you go really wet, you get this. I'm lucky I don't have these pages just sticking together since it's acrylic. So I got lucky there. But yeah, I made a mess. Alright, so I don't know, maybe a little bit more caffeine, quick break. I'm still right here, not going anywhere. With that be right back screen with the azimuth, and that's not what you would use to determine your azimuth, but I didn't have clip art for that tool. I'm blanking on its name right now. Nice. Alright then. Yeah, so I had to go ahead and start a new stream. I actually got disconnected, so fun stuff. And I'm also kind of hovering close to my my mute on my inline mic because I have a small person who is refusing to nap. So, all the fun stuff. Oh, my music decided to stop too. Awesome. It's like everything about this stream is like, yeah, you know how you want to go ahead and stream and like do your thing. Let's go ahead and just not. It's like, well, that's not cool. Yeah, so that's fun. I don't know where I'm moving this to. It's letting it dry. I have space on my desk. You know what? I'm going to talk about my Mother's Day present because why not? Today's a little off format, and tomorrow is actually not going to happen. I'm not going to do a stream tomorrow because of taking one of my kiddos out to a doctor's appointment. So I gotta be there for that one because he's gonna get shots, and that will make him a very sad butt. Just adding some water to my palette so this white doesn't dry into the palette. Water's still going on. But yeah, I have a nice new watercolor set courtesy of my roommate, and my other half got me cheesecake, so he knows me well. So definitely appreciative of my friends and family. So this palette feels, if I were comparing it to like the Prima Marketing palette, I feel like this one might actually be a little bit thicker. And yes, I do have a Prima Marketing palette, and that sounds weird coming from somebody who's working with like art supplies, but I like it because I have a, I guess, no consequences palette is how I kind of look at it. Like, I don't have to worry about am I wasting an art supply? I got these purely because I liked the colors. This is the Prima palette that I'm talking about. I got this because I liked the colors. I've seen a lot of people do work that was similar. I've already been able to find that I have ways of duplicating nearly all of this with my current palette. That's the Bright and Darks palette that I've been using. And then I have this one, and I just pulled this out so I can kind of compare like how they feel. They feel similar, but I feel like the weight of this aluminum is like the tiniest little bit thicker. So if you wanted to get one for just palette wise, to go ahead and yank all of these and then fill it with your own half pans, honestly either would work really well. This has a cute little color chart. They list what they suggest for primaries, which you could go with that, but you could also, instead of going with the light yellow, you can do the yellow ochre. You can turn it into like a more deep toned palette, so you can go like light red, yellow ochre, and for blue, I'm not sure. I would try either Prussian blue or the ultramarine blue, just to see what variations you get. With ultramarine blue and that light red though, there's so much orange to this that you'll get a neutral instead of getting a purple. So that's why their suggestion of doing the Prussian blue with the deep crimson. Both of these are on the cooler side, same with that light yellow. These will be closer to maybe almost a CMYK type palette. The only thing I don't like about this is, where's the box? I already put the box down somewhere. Okay, terrible at that. Alright, so this says artist grade. Okay, cool. Artist grade. You want to tell me what my pigments are? I mean, even Prima Marketing eventually got to the point of publishing what their pigments are. So that's why I don't trust this for actually being an artist grade palette. I absolutely love the colors. I wanted to have this as something more flexible, so I can go ahead and mix and match. And I suspect that these are probably close enough in size that I could do maybe like some blue tack or something, and then squish a row in the middle. That's a really snug fit. But these are also still wrapped, so it might not be quite so snug. I could also go sideways, squish them in sideways. But yeah, I was basically looking to go ahead and beef this up, which is why this was on my wish list. And just give me some more options as far as just random palette to run around and play with. So I'm definitely happy with that. Let's see if I can get this back in without fidgeting too much while I'm doing this all one-handed. But yeah, cute colors. I haven't unwrapped them and played with them yet. I'm kind of curious what that sea green looks like. And also the light red, it looks a little bit like a Pyrrole Scarlet at the moment. But look at this. They do paint their logo on, which you know, that might be the only detriment if you're intending to just pack your own stuff in there. You might want to just pop a sticker on or hit this with a coat of spray paint. Definitely go ahead and give the surface like a light sanding. Mine's already scratched up. Yeah, that's some scratching on it. I've only pulled this out of the box this morning just to take a look at the colors, and saw that they were really rapid cute, so I left it alone there. Well, I'll probably do a review on that at some point. That Prima palette was the Decadent Eyes. I have the color swatches somewhere where I was playing with them. Of course now I can't find them. Is it here? Yes it is. Okay, still on my desk. I was working on a couple different projects on here, so you can see like some samples for set of markers. These are the mild liners. So I have that because I was trying to figure out this section. There's a company called Sunken Ship, and they have like some journaling supplies. They have this one picture that has an arrangement of markers on it. I've been trying to figure out what that was, and after seeing the colors together, I'm kind of like, I don't love it. I was just trying to visually match the marker caps to what was in the image to try to figure out what that palette was, just out of curiosity, because visually, when you just see the caps on the markers, like, they look really pretty together, but I'm kind of like, not feeling it. But yeah, so this was the actual swatches from the Prima Marketing Decadent Pies palette, and then I was backtracking to this is mixtures from my my Bright and Dark palette to go ahead and try to replicate these, but knowing what the pigments are and the light fastness information is, because I do tend to be distrustful of companies that advertise themselves as artist grade, but when your pricing is like in the craft grade realm, like you're cutting corners somewhere. You're adding fillers, you're adding optical brighteners, things like that, and I'm not specifically saying that they are. I have zero proof. I don't have a chemistry lab. I don't even know what I'd be looking for if I did have a chemistry lab. So it sounds really, really harsh and unfair, but at the same time, these are my concerns. This is why I wanted to find it out of, you know, what is artist grade and list light fastness information, and I'm pretty sure that they are actually doing the blue wool scale, the blue wool testing for light fastness. So yeah, I was just working on a couple mixtures here. This is just some random iridescent topaz, or the Daniel Smith's. It's the most recent metallic color I have, and I have an eraser bit here, which is driving me nuts. Yeah, today is just kind of shooting from the hip. This is a palette that a friend online, we were swapping art supplies, so I sent her some hat pans, and looking forward to seeing my paper. And she's got an accordion style sketchbook pad, and that's what I'm doing the swap for. I thought that would be neat. What else? I don't know what else I want to ramble about. I think this was a mixture of diopside and Aussie Red Gold. It's diopside mixes. A really interesting neutral there. And the rich green gold with diopside is a really pretty spring green. And with the orange and the Aussie Red Gold, it neutralizes a bit, so you get more of a mossy shade. I'd say that's a really great one for if you like granulating and earthy tones. It's pretty bright, like vermilion. I don't have vermilion, but from what I've seen, vermilion's on the blue side of the spectrum. It's very similar to phthalo green blue shade, but it's much less tinting strength, so it would be easier to control in mixes. As far as that's concerned, so yeah, fun stuff. Yeah, I really don't know what I'm doing today. I'm just kind of rambling. I think some days just are open to more rambling than others. These feel so much. I think that's just me. These feel slightly heavier. Just the palette itself, which is funny because like this one being lighter, I don't have a dent in it. Something happened to this one along the way shipping, but I have this nice little dent right there. I would say maybe like this one might not just be like aluminum. Maybe there's something else added that makes it a little bit heavier. They're very similar as far as style. They both have the 2 wells on this side, and they had the 4 wells on the other flap. And this one has the thumb loop. I've never used the thumb loop, but I would imagine that would be handy. I am a clumsy person, I'm currently looking for like a clip that is wide enough where I can secure this to like a painting surface. So I don't think I'm unwrapping that and doing swatches. I don't know. Unboxing and swatches interesting for a random Twitch stream that's supposed to be about ink and sketching, and I'm doing neither. Silliness. I don't know why I'm in such a weird mood today. I think part of it is I woke up and today was like one of those slow wake up days for me because allergies immediately were hit. And my plan before today really wore on very much was to go ahead and call my son. Because he is not here with me. And, well, one of my sons. Now I have two. But, yeah, it's just, feels weird not to get that phone call done, but it's also not fun to do phone calls when your head feels like it's drowning in snot, so there's that. This is the flat brush I was using for just adding water to our wash, and this is the one, let's see, like I'm pressing on it, they're not really bending, so I really need to go ahead and soak this one, do that lemon juice soak and get this clean. So that's why this one's still out, that's how I actually get to it. I would love if someone was in the stream and just was like, here, why don't you do a thing, and like, cool, let me go do a thing. I think it's kind of like a blah day from, you know, not getting that call done, and I don't know, just feeling like my day's not complete at the start. Knowing that there's work that I want to do, and also that I'm going to be taking off of the stream tomorrow. So these are all kind of hitting me kind of weird. I don't get it. Doldrums, man. This is probably going to be the least interesting, or most interesting if you enjoy my rambling. But maybe it's a good day to go ahead and clean up the desk a bit. So I don't know if this is interesting for you guys. I hope some of it is. Yeah, I'm definitely getting to a point where it's like I have so many supplies just sitting out that I should be putting some things away before we're breaking out more stuff. I don't mind having to dig out supplies when I need them, but when I don't know that I need them, I don't want them just sitting out here collecting dust. Yeah, I'm really curious about why Liquitex decided to formulate some of these colors the way they did. So like, here's another random talk. You know, at least this is talking about ink. Okay, so transparent Raw Sienna, PY42. Cool. That's good. It's a single pigment mix. Most of the time, though, you get your burnt sienna. Okay, single pigment, PR101. That's not always what they would use. There's a PBR pigment that I'm blanking on. Maybe PBR7? No, PBR7 tends to be used for raw sienna. Well, that should be burnt siennas too. It's just they take the same pigment and they roast it in an oven. Technically, this PY42 should be a yellow ochre. I forget if it's natural or synthetic. Because one is 42 and the other one's 43. Same thing with the PR101. I think it's PR102. One is the natural, one's the synthetic. But then we get into, yes, this is one of them. Transparent burnt umber. PR101, UVK7. So that is UVK7, I think, is in lamp black. Here's the, yeah, it's just kind of an unusual mix. It's like, yeah, we want this color, but we're going to pull it off with a little bit of black. Random. don't even get me started on some of these the muted colors. Like, I like combinations, but when you get into like 3-4 pigments, it means that you're lowering your ability to mix them without them becoming without the colors becoming muddy. And mud is not bad as long as it's intentional. Like these are muted colors, so they have been intentionally mixed to do that. 2x42, so we have yellow ochre, or in this case, transparent raw sienna. We have some phthalo blue green shade and some dioxazine violet. Let's see this one. This one's nice and easy. You have some dioxazine violet and some PG36 that would be phthalo green yellow shade. These are off the top of my head if I remember pigment numbers. If I don't, then I'm not trying to look stuff up right now. We have some phthalo blue green shade, phthalo green blue shade, some black, and a little bit of violet. So there's 4 pigments in here for the muted turquoise. It's a pretty color, don't get me wrong. I'm just being very careful about mixing some of these. This one, we have PR122 and PBK7. So that's PR122 would be quinacridone magenta, I think, with black. I'm pretty sure that's a plain magenta. Actually, I should have that up here. Did I write pigment numbers? No, I only wrote colors. But the I think that's the same color that Daniel Smith used for the Quinn Lilac. PR122. And it's only because they already had a quinacridone magenta. They decided to use a PD19 pigment for one of them. Oh, we're back on this track again. Ooh, this track would be at home with like the Spawn soundtrack. Like, I don't dislike it for just sound. I would have to be doing something, not focusing just on it. But yeah, that's just one of those things. It's like, eh. Yeah, this is my my brights and darks palette. I named it that because I was focusing largely on like a pretty wide color gamut. That's looking at Bruce McAvoy's secondaries palette that he suggested. I was thinking of lots of steps along the color wheel, so it's a easier shortcut for me as far as mixing. Most of this is single pigment. Let's see which ones are not. The sepia is, I forget which brown, but it does contain a black pigment. Quinacridone gold, because PO49 is no longer available, so it's a PO48, and normally like a nickel azo yellow, so I think it's PY150 or 151. I have that on my other palette here. Yeah, PY150 for this version. Let's see. Sap green. That is a Quinn gold. Just do Quinn gold because I'm tripping over words here. And pretty sure it's the phthalo green blue shade. I think it's a PG7. And what else? Neutral tint. It's a combination of phthalo green and quinacridone magenta, which this is an M-gram mix, but these two colors are from Daniel Smith. But when I was considering which pigments to go ahead and have this writing along with, I want to choose one of the ones that's part of its mixture. So that in case they mingle together, that would be logical, and then I could just relean the mix. That's why I decided some of these colors, just based on what they are, would I mind them being, contaminating each other, because M-gram, with its really high honey content, tended to just lead into the other colors that were in the palette. So most of them don't have a full separation between them. And that's fine. You know, I don't mind it. Payne's Gray. This one is the M-gram version. I believe it is... I forget if this one's Ultramarine in black, or if this one is Indian Throne in black. But at either rate. I liked that sitting with the Phthalo Blue Turquoise because I didn't mind it picking up a little bit more of that cooler tone at times. Really, my palette doesn't need either of these because the neutral tint's able to neutralize anything that I've seen so far. It's just, I don't know, just something I'm playing with. Having some dark colors, I can do some monochromatic work. And that is something I do enjoy, is seeing monochromatic pieces that are all toned in one color. I think that might be part of what has started to throw me in some of the streams so far, is that one of the goals that I had was to go ahead and largely do like monochromatic line work, and here I am kind of fiddling around, playing more with that, and that is adding more time to these pieces that I'm creating. So just dealing with some mixed feelings from that. Alright, so my muted inks are put away. The only one that does not have a box for a home is my poor little original black ink, which the rest of the that metallic set is long gone. Someone will open that box and be disappointed that the black is missing, but they'll have the other 4 metallics and the white pigment. Silliness. It's kind of a weird kind of reflection kind of day. I cleaned out that palette as I was yammering on about things, so I'll need to change out my water having all that white pigment floating around. I don't know what I feel like today. It's like, well, there's only 15 minutes more time, so there's that. I've already finished my beverage for the stream. So, what is next? What is next is getting my head out of my butt and getting something done. I don't like having so many unfinished pieces sitting around, and I'm kind of trying to either come to terms with that a good chunk of MerMay will be sketches, because I want to get through the challenges. I'm just kind of examining how I feel about that. Like I said, here we are, day 8, technically, in, the month of May, and I've only made it to the 4th prompt. I keep feeling like I want to include metallics too, so maybe that's another part of the hang-up, is like, I'm telling my brain you can't just play. And maybe that's starting to eat at me a little bit. Maybe it's a little subconscious thing, but figure you guys get to have something to look at, get to see the prompts. I'll slide this up so you can see the end ones. Unfortunately, this paper is nice smooth paper, so you get a little bit too much light back here. I don't know. I also don't want to just look at this like a menu and be like, I'm gonna just pick and choose. Because to me, that defeats part of the purpose of the challenge, is that you have these prompts, go ahead and tackle them. I'm making a lot of fucking rules for myself, and apologies for language if that offends you. Occasionally I use bad language. We're adults here. I don't design this stream for kids. Also don't specifically rule them out, but I don't know, maybe it's just PG-13 and you occasionally get an F-bomb. Like, you get one. I really do like this track. Oh. Yeah, so that's basically where I'm at, is just where do I want to start? Well, I feel like I'm falling behind, and even though this is a self-imposed challenge, there really is no behind. It's just you set this goal and you work at it when you can. So it's kind of getting over some of that mindset. I really do like that iridescent topaz just seeing out the corner of my eye. These little wings just sparkling over here. Maybe I need fairies. Maybe I've already been too much in the ocean creatures. That is one of the things that popped up with MerMay. I was a little bit concerned with, because I am traditionally more of a fairy fan than mermaid stories. But they've recently been a topic I'm kind of gravitating towards. So I'm going to just take a peek online and see what's going on, if anything else is going on at Twitch. Music's slightly too loud. Oh, I'm sorry. I have turned the volume down so low. So I have this like at the about lowest I could go. I don't know. Is there an audio mixer? Alright. So I can do this a little bit lower. And it still seems like that's pretty loud. Yeah, the new streaming, I'm not liking that. Like, I've tailored the volume level inside of the software I'm using, so this should be picking up very little as far as the volume for my system, and yet still it's just about blowing things out of the water, and it's very distracting. It's a very, very rambling stream today anyway. I don't know what I'm doing. So randomness. This is definitely one of those. It'd be better if there were some more people to interact with live, but it is a holiday, so people are doing stuff. And I get it. I'm not upset about that. Maybe I need to get myself a D6 and just decide what color paper to continue on. for the next prompt. You know, why not? Now that there's like 5 minutes left of the stream, and this was probably the most painfully awkward stream. Yeah, I'm going to my character sheet online to go ahead and roll a die, and we'll just go ahead and decide that way to see what color paper for some of the next couple challenges coming up here. So let's just say 1 to 2 is tan. 3 to 4 is gray. And then 5 to 6 is blue. So that's our paper choices. There we go. So for number 5, I decided to send it anyway. Alright, so for number 5 we have number 5, so that would be the blue paper. I told it to just roll that for me, but it doesn't want to listen. Alright, and we got a number 3, so we have gray for Moon, Sunken Ship, and Demon. Because I'm a nerd, this is what we use dice for. Alright, and then for the next one, we have a 2. So Phantom Treasure Song will be on tan. Why not? Dice have a way of, dice and coins have a way of, lifting, doing some heavy lifting as far as decision making. It's one of those, this really doesn't matter. Why am I stuck on it? And my brain's just stuck on it. I don't get it. So maybe I'll have better ideas with some of that in the next day or so. Just one of those silly things. Let's see, Octopus Sailor Film Noir. Okay, that's going to be weird. I don't know what I'm gonna do for that one. I'm getting out the dice already. Just that way I have suggestions for at least the paper color. I don't know how I'm doing film noir. I'm honestly not that familiar with it other than like the cheesy like Sam Spade sort of thing. Wasn't that I think it was Star Trek, wasn't it? It'll go great if I should just put it on the tan paper. I'm gonna leave it up to the dice though, because I'm a nerd. Alright, one more die roll. And another 2. The universe agrees, that should be on tan. Silliness. So, I don't know if that might be interesting to you guys, but you know, you have some dice, maybe they can help get you out of a a rut. I think I am going to break out the metallics for this one and just do something random and maybe let that help move things along. So that one was on the blue. Or blue paper should be dry enough by now. Atlantis Tribal. I'm going to grab some of my gold metallic. That's going to be just a second. I think I'm going to do that now. And what I'm going to do is just wet the paper, blot on some of the metallic, so I can just kind of have something to work with at random. And go ahead and put that on here. I've said it several times, I don't have it memorized still. Atlantis and Tribal. And this one is number 5. And I'm just going to deal with this little bit down here, because like I said, when you go ahead and mat that, I'm going to be matting this in a 5x7, so it's going to cut off an inch from the top and bottom. Well, an inch total, top and bottom, and an inch total from the side. So you can have that be like a ½ inch all around, or you can finagle it and hide spots that are slightly less desired. I'm going to pop up the Be Right Back for just a moment while I go ahead and get that ink. And we're just going to watch some ink swirl around on wet paper in just a moment here. Yeah, I'm definitely finding that by setting myself more, I don't know, I guess obstacles. This is too many limitations, or just my brain is chafing at too many limitations. So just shaking that up so the pigment's really well dispersed. And I don't know why I'm shaking my water bottle. And I think I will let this just be kind of crazed and random. Maybe some areas will have a little bit more flow, so I'll go ahead and just wet my brush and do whatever. Oh nice, our playlist has been interrupted again. I'm probably dropping frames like crazy. It claims that it's still playing. Thanks. Move to a different track. Oh, this claims the music is playing, it's just not coming through. Awesome. Fun new issue. I'll be doing some tech support later. Yay. And some of these spots are like barely moving. My playlist claims it's playing music, but I can't tell that at all. It's just everything kind of out the window right now. Great timing. Just gonna do a couple dots. Maybe I'll spray them, maybe I won't. I don't know. Maybe. I think that's good. I stand corrected. Well, I sit corrected. You want to be technical. But I'm going to grab just a little bit more ink. And since one of our prompts is sun, I'm going to let that build up a little more. See if it'll just kind of wander. Oh, we'll see. I kind of want to get that bubble out though. I don't want that distorting stuff. As that bubble goes nowhere every time I'm tapping on it. That's just gonna sit there and try to make me crazier. Yeah, that bubble's not going anywhere. So, oh well. How's that for fun? We did something for day 5. Yay! Well, having the paper decided and knowing I want to do some metallics is, I guess, a step in the right direction. I'm going to just move this gently off the edge over here because since we have this as our sun and day 6's prompt is Moon, Sunken Ship, and Demon, why don't I go ahead and do that too. So this is on our gray paper. I just have to find my gray. My gray is right here. And put the lid on my gold before I spill it everywhere. Because that is definitely me. I'm an accident-prone person. Don't you want to fold the direction I want you to fold? Now watch me fight with my notebook. Off camera. Alright, so just taking a sheet off. It's funny how similar the gray and the blue look under this light. But if I tilt it this way, where you have daylight coming over my shoulder, you can see they're very, very definitely not the same thing. But, oh well. That is just that. Alright, so I'm glad I have at least an idea. And part of this is getting productive. Moon, Sunken Ship Demon. be interesting. Alright, and then this one is number 6. I am glad I do have some direction and I'm able to at least lay in some foundations for where we might be going very shortly in the future. As I fight with the tray to get my iridescent ink out. Given the silver, a happy little shake. I guess I can go ahead and try restarting my playlist, maybe. It says it's playing music, like it's going along as if it were. It's not. I don't like that. I'm going to do these similar in the sense that they're sun and moon, so to me they're automatically kind of companion type pieces. But I'm also going to do this as they are their own unique thing. I'm not going to try to tie them together more than there happens to be metallics that were applied. And that's it. So, just going to come into a couple edges with the brush, with some water, just to slap it on there. I'm sure some of the pieces that I'm doing for this month's challenge will be very similar, where they look like they should be together. But I'm not specifically trying for that. Alright, and going back with the script liner, just loading that up with some ink. And a couple dots. Dots. Maybe a little swirl. I don't even know where I'd put the ship. I don't know if this is going to be vertical or horizontal. Some splatter. That's one thing I like about the script liner. The bristles are nice and long. Get some good splatter. And I should be pushing this up a little bit more so you get a little bit more of that. That's kind of neat. Some little crazing going on with the spray pattern. I don't see specifically a moon here currently. I think I'm just going to add more here, because that was the biggest drop that's on here. Now I've gone too far into the other water edges. It's going to blend and do its own thing. Like, okay, fine, you do your thing. I'll just add some more here. Maybe a little more. I don't know why that sounds kind of like a duck. Oh well. Silliness. So, I feel better in the sense that I've at least started on day 5 and day 6. And just kind of feeling it out. Yeah, this is definitely going off and doing weird things. There's some random splatter here and there. Do I want to spread out any of it? Probably. Like this bit here. I want it to be interesting, but I also don't want all of it to be really thick. I want it to be kind of at random. I'm debating spraying that one, blowing that out a bit more. I'm also not wanting to put like metallic everywhere. And I feel like that's what's going to happen, is I'll get a lot of blowback and I'll push the metallic everywhere. So I'm leaning towards leaving that one alone when it comes to the spray bottle. I'm going to try to round out these edges now that it's dried a little bit. Maybe I can get this to be round. I'm not going to round it all the way out. I'm going to let some of those crazed edges stand. Maybe go over them with some shading. I don't know. We'll see. This is called I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm just going to let this be a random process. And hopefully you guys are still interested in seeing what I'm doing, because this was the longest, most meandering journey that I've done in a while. And hopefully we get to somewhere interesting. So thank you so much for stopping by, visiting today. I really appreciate it. And yeah. So like and subscribe if you want to see more of my random figuring out what I'm doing with this Mermaid challenge. I think this is the start of something really interesting. And so is this. So this is already a good chunk dry. And just try to tilt that so you can see some of the gold here and there. Oop. I don't want to lean that down too much. I still have an active wet wash there. It's still moving around. I'll just let that dry and do its thing. I'm not specifically trying to tilt this into doing anything specific. I just want that to kind of sit there, do its own thing, be happy. Right, and then this one, kind of move it around a little bit so you can catch glimpses of the silver in the light. And man, is this going to be hard to photograph a thumbnail for what we did today. So, wish me luck. And as always, keep drawing, painting, experimenting. You know, get some dice or coins involved with figuring your way out of a rut. So if you're stuck, you know, try sitting with it for a while. Like, you know, I'm still here at my desk. I'm still trying to figure things out. And that was very much so today. It's just sitting here with thoughts and letting the random happen. Sometimes it's a good thing. Well, until tomorrow. Be well.